Do you have a deferred prosecution review hearing in Seattle or anywhere else in Washington State? If so, you're probably worried. You probably don't know what's going to happen, and you need some help. Well, if that applies to you or just interested in this type of thing, this is the video for you. My name is Lance Fryrear, and I'm a defense attorney in Linwood, Washington. My firm has been defending people charged with crimes all throughout Washington State for more than 20 years. In this video, I'm going to cover three things. Number one, what can cause you to have a deferred prosecution review? Number two, what do you need to know? What are the tips that you need to know to have the best chance of surviving your deferred prosecution review? And number three, what happens if your deferred prosecution is revoked? So I'm putting out these videos to help educate the public. So if you find this useful, please like and please subscribe. More people will get the information they need. Now I'm just going to jump right into it. Deferred prosecution. What can cause a deferred prosecution review hearing? And what do I even mean by that? Well, if you're watching this, you may know that deferred prosecution is a program that you enter into where you say, hey, I want to do alcohol treatment or drug treatment or mental health treatment in lieu of being prosecuted, typically for a DUI, could be physical control. There's a few other types of things, but typically DUI. And it's a 5-year stay out of trouble program, a deferred prosecution, but typically a 2-year treatment program for alcohol or drugs. And so when you enter into that deferred prosecution, it's good news. I can get my case dismissed if I get through the program successfully. But part of getting through the program successfully is obeying all the rules. So if you're accused of violating a rule, the court will set what we like to call a review hearing or a probation hearing to make a determination. Should they take away your deferred prosecution? If so, they're going to convict you, and then bad things will happen. So what typically can cause a review hearing? Well, the most common thing is being out of compliance with alcohol or drug treatment. And how might we be out of compliance? Well, we might have had a positive UA for alcohol or drugs. We might have missed too many sessions, group treatment sessions. Or a common one is we forgot to turn in our self-help or AA meetings, or we simply didn't do enough of them. Those are three common situations where we might see the court saying, hey, you're out of compliance with treatment, and therefore we may revoke your deferred prosecution and put you in jail. Another situation is a new criminal law violation, and those are usually a little bit worse and sometimes much worse. New criminal law violation, you've got a suspended license charge, or you've got a no insurance charge, which is a ticket, but still can be bad for a deferred prosecution, or the worst possible situation, a new DUI charge. And if the court who's running your criminal history sees you're charged with a new crime, you can bet they're going to summons you in for that review hearing. So those are some things you might be facing, and there's others too, but those are the most common things that might have brought you to the court for a review hearing. So number two, what to do about it? What are some tips? Well, the first thing you need to do is get a hold of your attorney, or get an attorney if you no longer have one, because deferred prosecution is one of the most important things that you need an attorney for if it's a review hearing, because we can make a huge difference. So you may already have one, you may have a public defender, you can always reach out to us, but what the attorney does and what the tips are depends on the type of situation. If you're out of compliance with treatment because you had a positive UA for that, you used, well, what we typically want to do is see the treatment agency increase your level of treatment to a heightened level, make you go more often so there's a response. And then we'll usually try to get your review hearing set over to a later date to give you a chance to show that you are responding positively to the increased treatment program. And the secret to review hearings are the court mainly cares about what your status is at the time they make the final decision, because many courts want to see you stay in the deferred prosecution, and we want to try to have the treatment agency give you a little more treatment so the court can feel there's a response, and also give you some time to prove yourself. So that's one of the main things. We don't want the review hearing to be decided right away because you're going to be at a disadvantage. Another thing that we can do is, similarly, if you're behind on AA meetings, is, try to get you to make them up, right? Hurry up, do more than one. a day if you need to, or do more than 2 a week if you need to. That's something that we might want you to do. And if you're charged with the crime, then we're going to want to try to see, can we get involved in the new charge to try to improve the chances of that not being a conviction? Because if it's not a conviction, in the long run, there's a chance we can get the deferred prosecution court to not revoke your deferred. And again, what do we want? We want your deferred not to be revoked so you can get the benefit of the program that you entered into. And the eventual benefit is a dismissal of the charges. So thanks for staying to the end. Number 3, what happens if your deferred prosecution gets revoked? Well, it's really bad. If your deferred prosecution gets revoked, it's the same thing as you pleading guilty. Basically, you will be found guilty of the crime, typically DUI. You'll be sentenced, to the mandatory minimums or worse, depending on what the new violation is. And that can be quite a bit of jail time because typically we're not entering deferred prosecution on a first offense. Usually it's a second or further offense where the penalties are worse. And then even worse than that is the probation period starts all over again. So you're going to get a license suspension, you're going to get a new interlock requirement, and you're going to get a whole new 5 years of probation on top of any jail time you have to serve. And you still have to do all the treatment. So we do not want your deferred prosecution to get revoked. So I'm glad you're watching this video. I'm glad you're taking it seriously. And I want you to stay positive because there are many, many, many times we can avoid a deferred prosecution being revoked if you do the right thing. So again, thanks for watching. If you found this useful, please like and please subscribe. And more importantly, if you're in this situation, feel free to give my office a call. Again, my name is Lance Fryrear. We've been defending people charged with crimes for more than 20 years, including deferred prosecutions. We'll listen to your situation, we'll identify a way forward, and we'll be there for you. Thank you.